All right. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome back to another live stream. Hope you all are doing well. It's been a minute, but we back for another one. Hey, we got the man Grayson in the house. Grayson, what up, man? Happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. Thanks for joining us for a little bit. Hope that Cummins is running good. Sure it is. Got the good old water here in the Yeti. And as usual, gonna wait a few minutes or just a little bit to give everybody who's gonna be joining us today a chance to join and get down on the action we got going on today. Nothing major. Pretty much just the usual thing. Hey, we got Double O. My friend, welcome. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing good as well and also had a good weekend. Grayson says, just put a 6-inch lift on it. Hell yeah, dude, that's what's up. What size tires are you running on that thing? Well, that's badass, man. I'm glad you souped up the Cummins a little bit. And we got the man LBV. What up, man? Happy Monday. Welcome. So, as usual, just gonna, while we wait for everybody to pop in, whoever's gonna be here, just gonna go ahead and get started. Just setting up at least. Still on the glove hype over here. Just for, not to keep our hands clean, but if anything, to keep our hands clean from poison oak. You guys already know, most of you already know, I'm super allergic to it. And this just kind of reduces the risk of getting the oil on my hands and then everywhere else, because you don't know you have the oil on your hands until you just go to the bathroom or do whatever else you're going to do. And a few days later, depending on how allergic you are, that's when you kind of find out that you have poison oak. So Grayson says 32-inch tires. That's not what I thought, but I figured somewhere around that range, 32s, 34s, definitely in the 30s. So it's a big truck, so you kind of want some good sized tires on there. But no, that's badass, man. We got the man IBS in the house. What up, man? Happy Monday. Welcome. Hope you're doing good. Hope you had a good weekend. Sultan Amat says, love your beard. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. And we also have our other friend here, Z-Sult. My friend, welcome. Really liking the videos. You're doing good work over there. I really like your shop. You have a beautiful shop. Hopefully one day we'll have something like that as well. But hey, it's all good. We do with what we got. So just gonna grab some tools, get set up. Don't have anything too crazy going on today. Just inspecting my buddy Alonzo's red lever 044. It's he just got it. He just added it to his collection, so it's new to him. It does run. One thing I do know, just from running it and the video he sent me of it running, it does need carburetor work. So maybe just to clean out, I would probably throw in a new metering diaphragm just for good measure. It is an older saw. So the 044s were first introduced around 1988, and it's believed that the ones with the red levers are basically the earlier ones. So from 88 and on, it is a 70.7 cc saw. So it's a little bigger than what we have now. So like the 400, it's a little bit bigger. The 400, I believe, is a 60 cc saw. And so either way, he finally got himself a red lever 044. That's what he wanted for his collection. He does have a 440. So we're kind of the same as far as, we have, let's say he has the 440, he wanted to add an 044. That's like me in the 201s, I want to have a 200. Eventually one day I would like to add an 020, which is basically the great grandfather to the 201s. And so I'm really excited that he finally got it. And so right now he just brought it to me along with his 400C that I have here, but we'll get to that one another time, just for a little checkup and some love. And the 044 same thing, just the checkup, just to go through everything, see what's going on, see what possibly may be wrong with it, as far as just anything that's wrong. So, but it does run and it sounds great, idles great. So, and I apologize, I'm missing some of these comments here. IBS Win says, haven't been here for a while. Yeah, man, it's been a few days since we've done a live stream. I've just been kind of busy balancing 2 jobs right now. I just got a second job, started my first day on Friday last week as a salesman for a company called The Door Shop here in Napa, where I live. So it's basically just an inside sales. I have a little office and basically just going to be crushing their sales. I get hourly wage plus commission after I'm done training, and then eventually it moves into commission and salary. And I also get a discount on all of the materials. So we sell doors and windows and everything along with it, hardware and installation materials. So, and then I'm still working over at the lumber yard. So Central Valley, I work out in their lumber yard, and I also work in their warehouse where we have all of our dry materials. So insulation, drywall, concrete, things like that. And we also have a hardware store portion of it. So where we sell just various tools, cleaning supplies, PVC. We also sell clothing like boots and clothes, shirts and hoodies and things like that. We sell Stihl and Husqvarna equipment. That's where I currently get all of my parts. And of course, we get a nice generous discount on everything inside the store. I also do get a discount on building materials, but that's not as much as the store side of it. So, and then also too, we got the shop thing going, doing more saw work these days. So that's really nice. And then recently got my eBay store up and going again. So I have my 2 9-to-5s. Eventually the door shop's going to be full time. I kind of want to see if they'll let me work Saturdays only at Central Valley. So that way, not only just for the discount, although that's nice, but also too, to just keep building contacts for the shop to get more work. And then, I just do love what I do there. It's easy. It's an easy job. Just help customers find building materials, slang lumber, drive forklifts. It's really easy for what it is. And yeah, so, and then the shop here, fix saws. I am accepting new, more equipment types. So I just got a new customer. We'll talk about that a little later. Got my first piece of equipment that's not saws or trimmers or anything like that. So that's really exciting. But yeah, so just been kind of busy. So, hey, we got Junior's Garage in the house. What up, man? I saw it was our RPM Nitro for a second there. Either way, good to have you, man. Welcome. Hope you had a good weekend. IBS says, when did it become Monday? That's kind of what I'm. It is Monday, right? Yes. Yeah, I know. Time goes by quick, man. We got RP Ruhi plays, says, hey, uncle, I am from India. Much love to you and everybody in India. IBS says, why do you keep calling him your uncle? I know, it's interesting. Hey, we got Sam Gloves in the house, our friend that loves gloves. Got some gloves on here for you because we are scared of that poison oak. So, Sam, much love to you. Welcome, man. We got Luciano, probably Luciano. Says, hi, I'm from Rome, Italy. In your country, you eat meat of monkey. Interesting. Much love to you. Happy Monday. Welcome. Cheaters Garage says, yeah, it's RPM. Right on, man. Rodolfo says, baby Huey. Interesting. All right. So let's just go ahead and get started here because it's not a whole lot that we need to do. Got myself a center punch finally. Helps with the removal of flywheels instead of just sitting there whacking it with the hammer. Let's see. A steel wire, a little wire brush. Let's see what else. Although I think this one I don't need to tap it because I believe the 044s and the 046s have the inward thread flywheel style, so I can use our in-thread flywheel puller from Stihl. So I just remembered that, so that's always nice. Although actually, you know what? I'll still probably use the center punch just because I don't have the wrenches for this right now, so we'll just have to use the good old hammer and whack method on that. Let's see, what else do I need? Cool. I think that's all we need for now. LBV says, just got off work, got my Wendy's, and watching TV, aka you. Hell yeah, man. Wendy's is one of my favorites. Been eating it a little more recently. So right on, man. Appreciate you guys for joining in. We got Jerry in the house. What up, Jerry? Happy Monday. So today what we're going to be working on is our buddy Alonzo's 044. It's his newest addition to his saw collection. He already has a 440, and kind of one of his dream saws was to have a 044, a red lever 044. So he finally got himself one. He found one that was in a condition that he liked. So it does need a little work, but for the most part, it is a really nice saw. At this point, it's just cosmetic, but right now we're going to get into it a little bit. It does need some carburetor work, so either a good carb clean. I personally would just put in a new metering diaphragm just because it is an older saw. So again, these saws, the 044s, were first introduced 1988. It's a 70.7 cc saw, so just slightly bigger to what we have now, the 400s. It does have a brand new rewind starter, so it's not completely original, but for the most part everything is original. These dogs on it, I believe they're from his 440, and he has a couple of things on order. It's cosmetic things. So anyways, let's just go ahead and get into it, and we're going to see what it looks like inside the cylinder. So check piston, cylinder sleeve, carburetor, although we already know that it does need carb work, but we're going to see what that metering diaphragm is like. I'm really guessing that it's pretty stiff because it starts, it runs, it idles good. It's just when you hit the throttle, it doesn't hit the high end very good. It kind of bogs out a little bit. So it could maybe just need a cleaning, maybe a tune, but again, probably a good chance it just needs a metering diaphragm. Being that it's such an older saw, I would probably just put one in anyways. But of course, it's all up to him and what he decides. All right, see you later. Have a good one. His 400C it runs perfect. It runs great. But he just wanted me to check it out, give it a little cleaning. I do have some updates to share with everybody. Some of you will probably see the post that I made on our community tab. So basically, the update is that I completely finally moved out of the shop where I was currently working out of, or where I was previously working out of, living with my grandparents. This Friday, my girlfriend and I went to go pick up everything that I had left. We took her dad's truck, and picked up literally everything, and I am fully moved into the new place, which is just a storage unit, but you know, that's what it is right now. So all the saws are here local, what, maybe 5-10 minutes down the street. I can go and get whatever I need. Eventually I am going to start trying to work out of that storage unit, although they have some kind of strict rules there at the storage unit place. They said absolutely no hanging out, but you know what, we're just going to see what we can do. And obviously I do some repairs here at the house, but it's at my girlfriend and sister's house, but it's not the most ideal, just because you guys already know there's a lot of stuff. So, and that storage unit filled up quick. I had no idea how much I actually had. And eventually you guys will see the pictures and everything and videos that I took this weekend. It's a lot of stuff, man. Wow. I mean, I know I had some stuff, but I did not realize it was that much. So air filter does need a new one. It's pretty clogged up. I believe Alonzo says that he has a new air filter cover coming. This one's perfectly fine, other than it has, as you guys can see, a crack in it. But it'll still stop debris from coming in. But of course, we just want to make it look good. So for cosmetic purposes, he got himself a new air filter cover. So let's go ahead and take off the shroud. Adham says, I'm Muslim, I eat halal food. Halal food is good. I've never had any, but I'm sure it's good. And hey, food is kind of food, you know, as long as we're eating, that's all that matters. So Rodolfo says, I'm a Chino. Right on, man, right on. IBS says, how's your new jobs going? They're going good. So like I was saying earlier, the shop here is picking up. So saw work is picking up. Thanks to working at Central Valley, I'm meeting new customers, and I've already, one of our newest customers already came by on Saturday to drop off what's called a Gopher X machine. Essentially what it is, it's a carbon monoxide sprayer. It's running a Briggs & Stratton engine on it. So now, even though we are still a saw shop, and you guys already know saws are our favorite thing to work on, I'm going to expand the horizon a little bit and start accepting more equipment, just different equipment. So I'm excited for that. I mean, at the end of the day, a small engine is a small engine. So, and out here there's a lot of agriculture, a lot of vineyards, a lot of farms. So I figured I'd just kind of broaden our shop a little bit. So here's the shroud, original. Model badge is still looking good. Just a little dirty, a little faded. Nothing too crazy though. So since we're here already, this still does, the saw still has fuel in it, because we were running it and I haven't dumped anything out yet. So let me just look down the cylinder, or into the cylinder from the intake side. So looking forward to the exhaust port. So it does have very, very, very slight striations coming in, but I wouldn't even consider it scoring at this point. So at this point, I'm going to say it's really good, in really good condition for being how old this saw is. But I feel like that's kind of normal for there to be some faint striations just from the piston going up and down. But again, I wouldn't even consider it scoring. And so again, this is looking down from the spark plug hole, looking forward. So looking at the exhaust port side of the cylinder sleeve. Looks good. It does have a lot of carbon deposit buildup, but again, it's a really old saw, and so it's just kind of to be expected. They were definitely running ethanol fuel, so it's just a little dirtier burning, and then depending on what type of oil they were using. So, but nonetheless, the sleeve so far looks good as far as the exhaust port side of it. But IBS was asking, how's your new jobs going? So they're going good, man. They're going really good. So I just scored a second job. They do want me working there full time, which for my current living situation, I definitely need full time. You know, we got to be working 40 hours a week. I'm getting paid $3 more commission, eventually going into salary. I still get a nice discount on everything. But they do want me full time. So I just broke the news to my boss over at Central Valley today, and I haven't gotten a response yet. And I was like, look, for what I need right now, I definitely need full time. Obviously, more money is great. Also, benefits like medical and all that good stuff, 401k. But I said, you know, I really love what I do there for you guys. So if I could just work Saturdays, let me know. I mean, I'd be more than happy to, because there's a lot of benefit to working there. Again, meeting new contacts for the shop. I love what I do there. For me, it's easy. And of course, we get a very generous discount there. So I just picked up some new boots, some Thorogoods, mock toes. Originally, I think, $260 boots. I got them for $150 plus tax. So with a couple other little things that I got, it came out to like $165. Plus, I get a discount on parts for saws, and I mean, they have everything that I need there as far as tools. So a lot of benefits of working there, and of course making a paycheck. But you know, I'm still part-time there. They haven't bumped me up. They claim that we're still super slow, which, I mean, I understand, but I need full time. So, but everything is going good. The new place where I'm working at, it's called the Door Shop. So again, we sell windows and doors and everything that goes with it. And there I'm doing an inside sales job. So sitting in an office, working on bids, locking in bids, obviously tending to customers if they come in. But really, I'm just in the office, following up with emails, answering questions through emails. You know, I do have to answer the phone, but it's basically just building quotes and invoicing bids, and it's going to be good. So I'm excited for that. Sorry, I'm missing some of these comments, guys. My bad. Kurt says, Stihl all day, baby. That's what I'm saying, man. You guys already know I'm what I consider a disgusting Stihl fanboy, but you guys know I have love for Echo, Husqvarna, anything that rips. But yeah, Stihl all day, I agree. Jerry's asking, you got a phone charger ready or on standby? I'm glad you say that, or asked, because I thought about it this time. And we ready. We are ready. We're prepared. So, 00 says dirty carb. It might just be a dirty carb. You know, I'll start off with the carb cleaning. We're going to see what the diaphragm looks like, but I don't think the saw has been serviced in a while. So These little two-piece mufflers, sometimes they're kind of tricky. There we go. Just had to pry it with the flathead. Hey, we got JC Lawn Care. What up, JC? Much love to you, man. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing well. Jerry says close the door. Get the fiberglass to fix the housing. Fiberglass? Let's see. Double O says different content would be great for more guys to join in. I agree. You know, we look. You know, I know most of us, we love saws, but it's good to work on other equipment, man. So it broadens the horizon a little bit. You know, more opportunities, more clients, and yeah, just new content. You know, I love the content that we do, but I think if we can get a little more variety going, I think that'd be awesome. So, and we've already started. So I'll show you guys after we're done with all this the new piece of equipment that I'm going to be working on for a gentleman whose name is Stan. He owns a winery here in town, just down the street. So that's also a really big deal and a big opportunity to basically be his mechanic for his winery. That'd be pretty cool. So anyhow, okay. Two-piece muffler. And so now when you look in through the exhaust, you're looking at the back of the sleeve. So that's the intake side of it. And let's see what that looks like. So right now I'm looking at the piston here in the front, and it does have some faint striations as well. You know, obviously this saw was ran pretty hard at one point, so it does have indications that the cylinder and the piston got a little toasty. And around the head of the piston, right above where the first piston ring goes, it doesn't look the best, honestly. But I mean, again, for being how old the saw is, it could look a lot worse. And anyway, so looking to the back of the intake, it has way more visible striations. So again, at this point, it's just probably from the saw running a little too hot. I don't know if they were running a full synthetic or what kind of oil they were running in this thing. So it could just simply be from the oil not being able to withstand the heat, and so not providing enough lubrication. So basically just from the piston coming in contact with the cylinder sleeve, which you guys already know that will cause scoring, and that's essentially what's happening here. But at this point, it's not gouging, but it is a lot more visible than the exhaust side of the port. So I think at this point it's doesn't need to be rebuilt. If anything, it could maybe be cleaned up a little bit. The piston rings look okay, but again, around the edge of the piston, of the head of the piston, it is a little, has some markings on it, but it's not affecting performance at this point or compression. So I think at this point, just running a good oil, so a full synthetic. And Alonzo does know how to run his saws. You know, he takes really good care of his saws. So at this point, I don't think a rebuild is necessary, or even a cylinder sleeve cleanup is necessary. Just, just run better fuel and a better oil, and that's it. So that's good. I think the worst part of the saw is going to be the carburetor work. So again, either just replacing the original metering diaphragm with a new one, a good carb clean out, and then the rest of it's just going to be cosmetic. So, oh, and that's another thing that he has coming is a new brake dust cover. As you can see, this one is pretty beat up. It did get a little hot. So it looks like it's still running potentially the original spark plug. It's a Bosch. So just a little tune-up service, fuel filter, air filter, spark plug. We're gonna clean it up for him a little bit. But other than that, it's a really nice saw. Like I said, the rest of the stuff is gonna be just cosmetic. So Junior's Garage says, let's hit that thumbs up, y'all. My friend, appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody for, you know, like I always say it, for all the love and support. You know, I just because I'm balancing 2 jobs and then, you know, making time for saws, and then the eBay store is not even a factor because that's kind of like really on the side. But just balancing 2 jobs, you know, it kind of puts a damper on doing our live streams and stuff. But of course, you know, until the shop gets booming again, you know, the 9 to 5s are really important. Plus, you know, benefits and all that, retirement. So, but we're still here, man. We're still here. We're still, you know, we're slowly getting back into the, you know, into the swing of things here. But yeah, I appreciate everybody, man, for sticking around. And earlier today, our channel was at 3,000 subscribers. So for that, I really thank you guys. It's crazy. So it's been a great journey. And I do feel a little rusty doing live streams. I know it's been what? Oh man, it's been at least a week, huh, that we've done a live stream. So I do feel a little rusty. You know, I feel a little rusty. You know, talking is a skill that you kind of have to stay on top of, you know, like communicating and public speaking. It's a real thing. But I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing all right. Junior's Garage says, thanks, appreciate it, y'all. Junior, appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you. Jerry says, I just need cleaning and spark plug adjustment. Yeah, I think that's, at this point, that's all it needs. I'd say run a better oil, so full synthetic. I would definitely recommend running ethanol free. And if, you know, ethanol free fuel is a little bit more expensive, well, a lot more expensive sometimes. But if not, you know, if ethanol free is not an option, just run the high grade pump gas, so like 91, and that would still be cheaper than buying a gallon of ethanol free. And keeping things clean, like on the intake side inside the carburetor box, not running dull chains. But it's a good saw, man. So I'll post the running, or actually I already posted a running video of it, little startup vid, so you guys can check it out. Sounds really good. Just needs that carburetor work, spark plug, just a tune-up service and a cleaning, and it's all good. And like I said, the rest is just going to be cosmetics. So I agree. Hey, we got M&G in the house. What up, man? How you been? It's been a minute. I'm sure it's getting busy for you at work, though. But glad you're here, man. Appreciate you. LBV says that's good to hear. Full-time is always better for sure. It really is, man. Especially, you know, when you want to just level up, you know, buy a house, car, benefits, retirement. I mean, it's all super important. I don't get that here. I mean, I can make a decent amount of money in the shop, but at the same time, you know, until if one day I had an actual brick and mortar, meaning an actual store where I have a high volume of customers and, you know, numbers are consistent all the time, then that would be a little bit more doable. But either way, man, we just got to hustle. You know, we just got to hustle and keep finding ways to just bring in that income and yeah, go from there. Junior's Garage says, I like Stihl and Husky. There's a lot of good saws out there for sure. No, definitely, man. And Echo makes good saws too. Especially if you get it ported by Charles Briscoe. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Charles, but man, he also an amazing saw builder. But but his echoes are screamers, man. I don't know. That man has those echoes figured out. And then there's, of course, my buddy Aaron Lynch. You guys, most of you, I think, know who he is just by me talking about him. He'll pop in every now and then, but that man's also a really good saw builder. He does everything: Echo, Husqvarna, Stihl, Farm Tech, Holz Forma. I mean, whatever, And he definitely works his magic with his saws too. But really though, when it comes to the echoes, man, freaking Charles, man, that dude, wow, it's impressive. HM Tech, hello, much love to you in India and everybody in India. IBS when says, wonder where Liam is. He said he just because he's a younger dude, so the age restrictions here on YouTube, I think his channel was actually getting ready to get deleted just because he's not of age to be able to have a YouTube channel or any social media. So his channel may have gotten taken down. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's always here. Jerry says, or is asking, have you ever thought to teach small motor repair? No, I haven't, just because I'm still learning a lot. I mean, I know a few things, and we all learn a little bit. I learn a lot from you guys, but I haven't actually thought of it to actually teach, small engine repair or the mechanic aspect of it, but I think by me doing these live streams, I think it's kind of a start to that. But who knows? Maybe one day. That'd be pretty fun though. Junior's Garage says, sharp chain is key to cutting and a good tune. Exactly, definitely. That's pretty much most of it. Obviously running good fuel, good mix, but sharp chain and a good tune, that's most of it. For sure. IBS says a dull chain will burn up the saw. That's for sure. That's probably one of the quickest ways. Well, one of the quickest ways that you will burn up a saw. For sure. Also fine dust Double O says also fine dust gets past filters and work as abrasive. For sure, dude. That's a quick way to start sandblasting your piston and your cylinder. For sure. LBV says 3K, that's a dub. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. Junior's Garage, congrats on 3,000. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you all. Favorite video game? Good old Grand Theft Auto. I'm currently waiting for the new one to drop. I don't have nothing to play it on, but I will be playing it at some point because that's one of my all-time favorite titles. So yeah, I'm excited for GTA 6, although I haven't been following up with anything as far as release dates, although I think they were claiming to have it drop in September of this year, but I'll believe it when I see it. But good old GTA, that's my favorite, always. And Forza Horizon was also really good too, or is good. I haven't played the newer ones, but it's good too. Luca fan, what up, man? What up, Luca? Says, sorry, I was at school. Dude, it's all good, man. No need to apologize. We're still here. IBS says, hopefully he doesn't get canceled. Yeah, hopefully not, man, because, he seems to have a pretty strong passion for chainsaws and building up his channel's community and his viewers and his audience. So, I think, yeah, hopefully he doesn't, because that'd be really shitty. Definitely. IBS has never played a video game before. Come on, man, for real? Are you pulling our leg? Because that is crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and check out the clutch and everything else. So, your little E-clip washer. So this is a rim sprocket style sprocket. So there's your rim sprocket. Essentially your clutch bell. This is a 7-tooth. Yes, 7-tooth sprocket, running 3/8. So this is a professional saw. So all professional saws, most to all professional saws come with a rim sprocket style sprocket. And basically the idea of it is so that way you can quickly change between pitches. So you can go from a 3/8 down to a 3/25 if you need to, or a 3/8 up to a 404 if you need to, which is pretty nice. Of course, you still have to swap out your bar and your chain. So right now I'm just checking the needle bearing. Make sure all the rollers move and they're not all seized up. I think this is still good. Definitely just needs some grease. You can see it was getting a little rusty in there, so could have just been from storage or from running it out in the rain. The clutch is dirty, but the clutch definitely got a little warm, a little hot, which obviously clear indication of that here on the dust cover. But we'll see what the springs are like. Let's go ahead and get rid of this flywheel, because I think I finally learned my lesson that it's always better to just take off your flywheel before you remove your clutch, so that way you don't run the risk of damaging your flywheel key, which I've already damaged two of them, two keys. And even if you're not doing flywheel work or nothing, you don't, even if you don't need to take off the flywheel and you're just doing clutch work, just take off your flywheel first. Don't run the risk of ruining your flywheel. Especially if you're working on customer equipment. So let's see. Which that's actually the problem of the 151 TC that I ported. It wasn't working. It wasn't firing up. It wasn't turning over at all. Come to find out, when I took it apart, I mean, I had taken it apart a couple times before that, but I did not catch it. The flywheel is damaged. So the key is completely sheared off. It's a casted in flywheel key, casted in key. So meaning it's not removable. It's actually casted into the flywheel. I didn't catch that before, so I'm pretty sure that was the problem and not me ruining the cylinder by lowering the ports or anything like that, because it's not free porting. The ports haven't been lowered at all. The ports look really good. So I have a new flywheel on order right now. I'm still waiting for that to come in, but I didn't catch it. I didn't catch that the flywheel was damaged. So all right, let's give it the all hammer and whack. Oh, I should probably get the hammer. All right, 1 second, guys. Okay. IBS says, no, it's true. Dang, dude. I thought you were just messing around. But hey, nothing wrong with that. Definitely nothing wrong with that. I might actually need the flywheel puller for this one. There goes the exhaust casing. Now, let me just go ahead and get the wrench. I do have a wrench. Okay, 1 second. The hammer and whack method does work. It works fine, especially if you have a good center punch. But I'm telling you, if a good flywheel puller makes all the difference as well. And that way you don't have to keep whacking at the crankshaft and run the risk of damaging your bearings or just anything, right? So, let's see. A little unprepared. Let me go. I'm just looking for a piston stop, although I could probably just use this. But I really like the end thread flywheel style pullers. They work really well. There we are. So this guy here, Jay Junior's Garage says you should invest in a hard rubber hammer. Yeah, man, I do need a better hammer. That I agree with. Definitely. Okay, so this is going to be too thick. So let me go search for that piston stop. My bad. All right. Success. There it is. So this is the Proline piston stop. Came with the set of piston compressing rings. This one works pretty good. Okay. Junior says I have the same tool bag. Yeah, man. So this little tool bag came with this DeWalt Impact. Came as a set. Charger, battery, and of course the impact, and then the carrying bag, which I never thought I was going to use it, but it finally came in handy. Okay, doesn't have to be super tight, just a good hand snug. And then this part here, this screw has a little tap. That's what pops the flywheel off. Screws into that nut. Like so. IBS says put the nut on flush with the crank, then get a pry bar under it and push up. Give it a couple sharp blows. Works every time. That's what somebody was telling me, or something like that. You know, to put the nut on it and then just kind of hit the nut. But just because I've already had so much or enough bad luck with crankshafts, and I'd rather just get more money out of my pocket sometimes lately. So I'd rather just do it this way for right now. But that, I mean, I'm sure that works fine. Let's see. Okay. And it didn't need much because it's already off. Normally there's a kind of like a loud pop, but I think maybe just one more whack and it would have been fine, but that's all good. It's all good in the hood. Sweet. Pretty nice flywheel, just a little dirty. Take our piston stop out. I can feel the bearings feel fine. So let's go ahead and get rid of this clutch. It's too small. There we go. I feel like I'm gonna just have to take the handle off. And like I say sometimes, If it's making your life a little more difficult, just take it off, get rid of it. And actually, I need to do this anyways, because right now I was thinking that since we're here, well, and it's also part of the inspection, that's to me, that's a good inspection, is to pressure and vacuum test the crank seals. Just to get an idea of what everything is like. There we are. Full wrap handle. There we go. Okay, that's not gonna work. That's weird, because I always use this one. Interesting. There we go. I need a better impact at some point. More juice. Oh yeah, it's gonna be dirty, dirty. Okay. So right now the main focus is the clutch. It's pretty loose, especially this shoe right here, super loose. So I'm gonna recommend definitely new springs. Once I clean up the clutch, we'll see how bad it is, but at least for now, I mean, obviously it did get pretty hot, but definitely new springs. Because this shoe is just so at this point, the carb work, new clutch springs. Also, the clutch drum does have some significant wear. As you guys can see, it has little divots in between the teeth. That's not supposed to be there. At least I've never seen one like that, so definitely has a lot of wear. And so does the rim sprocket. So at this point, I would say at least some new springs for the clutch, new clutch bell or drum, something might call, and new sprocket. So basically, essentially a new clutch setup, because it does have a lot of wear. And then obviously just a good cleaning. So now let's go ahead and check out the carburetor. John Nugent says European metric. So these are metric. So for instance, these nuts right here are 8mm that hold the air filter mount. Ooh, they tight. Somebody was definitely over tightening these. Oops. Because these nuts are beginning to strip out, especially these here on the right hand side. So depending on how detailed he wants to get, I would also probably recommend some new nuts, because these are very stripped out. You see that? They're losing their edge and just all chewed up. I might have some extras, so if I have some extras, I'll just hook them up. Woo! Oh yeah. Again, this saw is super old, but I don't know, I don't know how much the previous owner cleaned it or serviced it or anything. But it does have a lot of fines in here. So that's probably why the cylinder sleeve is starting to become striated. Just some faint striations, especially on the air intake side, which will come from not cleaning out your carburetor box. And obviously running a really dull chain, a lot of fines going in. Yeah. So a little look inside the carburetor box. It's not filthy, but it's dirty enough for things to start getting sucked in. One thing I'm noticing here also, now removing the cover, definitely needs a new tank vent, because the line is all rotten and broken. So let's check out the carburetor now. So we're gonna take off the molding. It's a little flathead. Lockout lever. LBV says, damn, that's dirty. Yeah, man, it's definitely a dirty saw. I really don't think the previous owner, I'm not talking about Alonzo, the previous owner, the owner that the person that he got it from, definitely did not. They kind of beat on this thing, which again, they're chainsaws. They're meant to be beaten on to an extent, but I don't think they were just running the crap out of this thing. So, but being that it's all dirty in here, I've seen a lot worse, but this is enough to have little fines start going in through your intake and then causing scoring. But right now I'm calling it just light striations. So air filter cover. But what I wanted to show was the carburetor box cover, whatever they call this. But look, it has a lot of fines caked up on the side there. So it's a good thing that Alonzo now has this saw, and it's under his care, because he really does take care of his stuff. And anyhow, I'm gonna pop open the fuel tank just for a quick second, just real quick. See, can't talk, man. Stop doing live streams and he can't talk all of a sudden. Just to alleviate some of that pressure. Linkage. That's your throttle. Right. Haven't worn these in a minute. But since there is fuel, let's see. What am I looking for? starting to corrode as well. Nothing pulse. I'm guessing that's the return. That still has some life, but I'd be careful with that. Let's check out this diaphragm. Let's wipe it off first. One thing I really miss right now that I don't have anymore since moving out of the other shop is an air compressor. Because, man, air compressors, they are great to have. Especially when you need to clean saws. But I kind of want to invest in an ultrasonic cleaner, even though I do like doing things by hand. But especially when I'm really, really busy, have a lot more saws to work on, keep things going. But like right now, we're getting busier, but still doing it by hand is perfectly fine. But just to save your hands a little bit, man, because I'm telling you, after a day of cleaning saws, and you'll kind of feel it a little bit. Double O says glasses add 0.5, 5 points of professional look. Exactly. It's kind of like getting dirty, man. It adds to the, oh, he must be doing something over there. Look, he's a hard worker. Kidding. Okay. So perfect example of really why you want to keep your carburetor box clean, and just every now and then pop things off if you can, if you have time, which you should. Running a good air filter and just keeping things clean. That's why I really advocate on cleaning saws, or really any equipment, but you guys already know, especially for saws, because that's what we do right now. But because things eventually will start getting trapped into places where you don't want any debris, like inside your cylinder, carburetor. So, and this is enough to do it, believe it or not. Running dull chains, but see how there's some specks in there of dirt, little fine wood chips, little fine dust. So that'll cause issues in your carburetor as well. So that's just another reason, or a good example of why you want to keep things clean. And I'll show pictures, because I mean, there's just so many things that I haven't gotten around to posting, because I post a lot, or I take a lot of pictures and videos. I have popped off covers, and the whole diaphragm up here is just covered in fine dust. And the screens are all clogged up. And even though we might be there's a good chance we're going to be rebuilding this carburetor, so new gaskets, diaphragm, I still like to try to be careful in taking off. But I want to see if a cleaning will help it, so that's why I really want to just especially be careful and not ruin the gasket. Okay. So this thing is definitely crunchy. That's what I call it, crunchy. Stiffed up. Is that even a word? It's significantly stiff. To me, if the diaphragm makes this noise, for me it's too far gone. So listen. And also, to a good telltale sign that you know, it definitely is a little far gone is when you see the crinkles in it, the little wrinkles in it. To me, that's no good. But I'm still gonna do my best. Well, not do my best, but I'm still gonna just well, we're gonna do our best. But I'm gonna just clean it all out, spray it with some good old carb and part cleaner, clean everything out, clean out the jets, um, clean out the little screen. But either way, this is for me. This is not good. It's gone. So Fliz says I've got a few crinkles myself. Oh boy, I'm not even gonna ask. Much love to you though, man. Thank you for being here. Everybody, thank you for being here. We got Gabriel Souza from Brazil. Bienvenidos. So let's check out what the screen looks like in here. So yeah, at this point, either way, even if we're going to replace the metering diaphragm, still going to give this thing a good cleaning. Although I do need to buy more. Oh no, I already have it here. I have it in storage. My carb cleaner spray. It looks like at some point somebody maybe did go into this carburetor because the little screen that's in there, that's a little tiny screen, it's a little damaged. Like somebody tried to pull it out or something. Or maybe it somehow got damaged, but I've never seen that happen. So I'm guessing somebody has already gone into this carburetor and cleaned it at one point, possibly. But I know you guys won't be able to see it. But there are little tiny particles stuck in that screen. So either way, definitely needs a good cleaning. So basically what I will do for that is spray all on the top here where the needle valve is. And also too, that's what you want to check. Make sure that little needle valve still has resistance. There's a little spring that sits on the bottom of that. So you just want to make sure that it's still doing its thing, working as it's supposed to, which I think it is. But if you were to push it down and it doesn't come back up, it needs replacing. So you can find carb rebuild kits that have just all new gaskets and metering diaphragm. You could also find carburetor rebuilds that have the new gaskets, metering diaphragm, and a new needle valve assembly. It just depends on what's available, and it's just a different part number. Or if you don't want new gaskets and everything else, you can just get the new diaphragm by itself. So this is a Zama, right? Yeah, Zama. It's either that or Walbros from what I've seen. This is a C3M. So basically what I'll do is I'll spray it all here, the bottom. I like to spray all the little nipples. Little nipples. Relax, people. And then also to remove the jets and spray all inside there. Basically just spray down everything. And go from there. Double O. So let's see, we got John Jackson. I don't know why I said it like that. From South Africa. John, welcome. Much love to you guys out there in South Africa. Thank you for being here and hanging out with us for a little bit. Double O says, for some rare saws, you can't find carb kits, so you can soak it in motor oil, but it's never like new. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, and that's really the thing. So that's what we would tell customers when I was working at the Ace Hardware. That's where I started in their equipment shop. And they would bring in old equipment or old saws, and they'd be like, can you still get parts, or can this saw still be fixed? And that's what I would always tell them. It all just depends on part availability and what we can find. But that's the only thing about older saws. It's tricky. Sometimes, you know, like Double O saying, it's hard to find a hard parts, especially sometimes OEM. I'm sure you could find there's a better chance of finding aftermarket, but you know, I think most of us would agree that OEM is better. Although I will mess with aftermarket, but that's usually on my own personal saws. But I still try to stick to OEM. But for customer equipment, always OEM. So Double O says also you can buy carburetor gauges for Zama and Walbro to check needle high. To check needle high, cost like $5. Okay, cool. I'm gonna look into that. I didn't know that. Hell yeah. See, I learned from you guys just as much as maybe you guys learned from me. But we're all just here, man. We're all just learning and sharing the journey. Hey, we got Ayush, my bad, Ayush. So Ayush, he's been around. So he was just on, he was just hanging out with Ground Pounder the other day, and so he's been around. Much love to you, Ayush. Thank you for being here. He's got the hands up and cheeseburger emoji. So the cheeseburger, burger time. So it's kind of like an inside joke. But if you guys want to check out Ground Pounder sometime in his live stream, you can ask him, hey, what's cheeseburger time? And he'll tell you. So that's actually Ground Pounder's thing. So I'll let the man explain that. But it's just a funny inside joke. It's nothing bad. So, I mean, it all depends on what you believe. But it's not a bad thing. Ayush says, what are we doing today? So right now we're just inspecting my buddy Alonzo's new to him, his new Red Lever 044 chainsaw. Just doing a quick, well, not a quick, we're just doing a inspection, just checking things out. Right now we're on to the carburetor, looking at the metering diaphragm, which it definitely needs a replacement because it's all stiff. It's got the wrinkles on it, so that's always a clear sign of a good indication that it needs replacing. And we're going to give it a good carb cleaning at some point once we get down to it. And then after this, we are going to pressure and vac test the oil seals just to make sure that everything is good to go. So let's see. Let me see my orientation here. So we're going like this, and then we're going... So this is going to go... So this is going to go in like this. So it's going to sit in like so. And then I did say cleaning on the title, but I don't really want to clean it here just because, again, so for those of you that know, I'm temporarily staying with my girlfriend and her sister, and they've been so kind enough to let me, for one, stay here and start bringing some saws around and doing some work here, but I don't want to destroy their backyard with dirt and grime, especially their nice deck. It's got composite decking and it's really nice. So I think I'm going to hold off on the cleaning today and do that kind of stuff over at the storage unit, which again, we're fully moved into now. I brought over the last of my stuff that I had. And so plus also too, I think I want to try to buy an air compressor soon at some point, because I mean, it's definitely needed. So I'm not going to do the cleaning today. Just because there's a lot of dirt and grime, and plus running the air compressor here is going to be kind of tricky. And either way, I don't want to destroy their home because yeah, that just wouldn't be cool. And you guys already know we get dirty. Ayush says, I only knew about the Stihl and Husqvarna chainsaws. This one's new to me. So this is also a Stihl. It's a Stihl 044, or as we call it, red lever. So a lot of us believe that the red levers are better. For the reason that I believe red levers, the theory is that they have better port timing, I believe. They just don't run as rich as the new saws, and basically the red levers are just also an indication that they are the earlier versions of that model. So the 044s were first introduced in 1988. So this one's definitely going to be from 88, and then depending on when they changed up their model a little bit, or the black levers. So a lot of us, we really like the red levers, and especially the earlier saws too, because they just run better. They're not, there's a lot of good new saws, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the new stuff, man, it's not like the earlier stuff, like the earlier saws. So that's so yeah, so it is a Stihl. So basically the 044 turned into the 440, and then the 440 turned into the 441, and that was the last version of the, I guess you could call the 044 series, the 44 series, I don't know. Same thing with like the 026 turned into the 260. Now we have the 261 and other models as well, like the 036 went into the 360, 361, and now we have the 362. And the 044 is a, now correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that it's a 70cc chainsaw, 70.7. I will be honest, I did look all this information up just because, I work on these saws a lot, and I know I claim to be a disgusting Stihl fanboy, but when you come down to specs, that's where I kind of dropped the ball. Okay. Ayush says more efficient. Yeah, so the newer stuff, the newer saws, they do their best to make them more fuel efficient. They just richen them up a little bit more. They try to make them run a little cleaner and just more efficient. But the earlier saws, they're just, I don't know, they're just better. They rip a little harder, not as choked up. Double O says, I use hexagon mat for cleaning. It's like honeycombs and absorb all the dirt and oil and gas. Ooh, sounded kind of nice. Hexagon mat for cleaning. It's like honeycombs and absorbs all the dirt and oil and gas. Oh shit, okay. I'm gonna look that in. I'm gonna look at that too as well, because that would be nice to have for show. IBS says, I love two-stroke carburetors. Same, man, same. Ryan Cook in the house. Much love to Ryan. Happy Monday. Says, red lever doesn't mean anything, bro. The earliest 044, 026, 034, 036, blah, 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 all had black levers. They switched to the red lever in the late 80s and stopped in the early 90s. Huh. I mean, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's believed that, well, what I said, I mean, it might not mean anything. I mean, there's so many theories of what it actually means. Some people also think that it was a manufacturing mistake. Some people say it was because of like OSHA standard, red and safety and whatever. Some believe that the red levers just have better timing, better whatever. But it could mean absolutely nothing. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. It's just, until I really know too what it means, I mean, it's kind of all theories at this point. It's like other things too. It's like bro science. Everybody kind of has their beliefs, but I mean, but Ryan might be right. I mean, it might not mean anything. It could just be manufacturing changes, whatever. But I think we could all agree that the earlier saws, they're pretty great. Old Man and Tree says, "Damn, 120 people listening to you ramble about chainsaws." I know, right, man? It's crazy. It's amazing. It's. I say that myself too. So many people. You know, just here to hang out, mumbo jumbo as I call it, and it's pretty amazing to think that not everybody watching all the time, runs chainsaws or really know much about chainsaws. Um, everything that I know is just self-taught as I go, and I learn a lot from you guys too. But yeah, it's pretty incredible how many people um, sometimes watch our live streams. There was a time, one of the latest live streams that we did. It was when I was checking out my 200T. At one point, there was 300 people watching. That was to date my biggest live stream as far as viewers. And since pretty much day one of doing live streams, the amount of views that the live streams get, it's almost mind blowing. It is mind blowing. I mean, some not so much. Like the ones that we were doing before we got back into saws, just because of the whole life transition, living situation and whatever. Um, and even that for me is a lot, in the hundreds. But not to sound like a full of crap douche, but it's crazy, man. Most of all of our other live streams, they're in the thousands. I mean, it's wild. It's wild. But that's where I come in and say, I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your days, out of your lives, to come and hang out and listen to me, like Old Man and Tree says, to just ramble about chainsaws, ramble about, about what we have going on in our personal lives. Because you guys, for those of you that have been around, you guys know we usually try to have a topic, obviously chainsaws, but we do everything here, man. We just hang out. We have a good time. We support one another, and we're a true community and little YouTube family. It's incredible. But yeah, it's nuts, man. I know. I never would have thought it would have been like this, as far as especially subscriber wise, audience wise. Because I only started our channel a year ago, not even a year ago. This July it'll be 1 year, and I had no idea it was going to be like this, um, at all. So to be at 3,000 subscribers now, to be at 1.5 million views, I don't know how many shares and likes. Our channel has been viewed, what, like 1.1 million times. As far as I don't know what the difference is between views and then the little squiggly on our channel. I think that's how many times people have came to our channel and looked at our channel, and then obviously views is a summary of how many times all of our content has been viewed. So it's been wild, man. It's been crazy, and I think for me the most important thing is all the relationships I've built, all of you guys, all of our friends that I consider friends and buddies, and just people that we all look forward to hanging out with and checking in. It's incredible, man. It's incredible. Um, I've uh, I've met some cool people along the way, like Aaron Lynch. You know, I'm grateful to be able to call him a buddy. If I ask him for help, he's always willing to lend a helping hand. Every now and then he'll pop in. He's a busy man. Erica from Married with Small Engines, just getting love and support from them, and and everybody else. So it's been one freaking awesome journey, I will say, and we're just getting started. I still feel like so. But anyways, let's see. Ayush says, "Hey, we got Luca fan back in the house. What up, man? Welcome back." Ayush says, "I've seen some of those run on batteries. I'm not into tree business, but I honestly feel like the old ones are better." Yeah, man. There's a lot of battery powered stuff now. Obviously, it still doesn't compare to gas, but hey, it's all good, man. I feel like everything has a place in the world. for sure. Ryan says most Stihls are strato saws and actually tend to run a lot leaner and apparently I can't read now, and are a lot more choked up than older saws. If you look at exhaust ports now, they are much smaller. That I can agree on for sure. I agree. Ayush says every perspective matters, though. I agree, man. I think you know everybody has a different perspective, point of view, and that's great. I think that's one of the great things about the world is that we all can share our opinions and we all have different beliefs, and it's I think that's great. Some people don't really like that other people have opinions or a different outlook or a different perspective, but that's life, man. That's life. Ayush says GP made me addicted to this stuff. For those of you that don't know GP, he goes by the name of Ground Pounder. Awesome dude, badass tree service guy, chainsaw ripper. He doesn't fix any chainsaw. I mean, he probably does a little bit at home, but he's a badass dude, man. So if you guys ever want to check out his channel, he does a lot of live streams. Always a good time, always a good laugh. Different topics, just hanging out. Check out the man, Ground Pounder. He's the man. So Ayush says these types of hangouts are like therapy to me. Love your efforts. And that's all it is, man. Just to have a good time, have good conversations, learn from each other, whatever that may be, whether it's chainsaws or just really anything. And since day one, I've always said everybody's always welcomed here. I really do strive to do my best to have our channel be a place where we can all come in and hang out and have just like a positive environment. And every now and then, sometimes, thankfully it doesn't happen very often, but every now and then we'll get the wave of goofiness. We'll get people that come in and they're just a little goofy, or a little odd, but it's it happens. But it's all part of social media. I mean, then again, it's social media, but thankfully everything has been great. And that's why I've never even had the need to have any moderators, because it's never gone out of control like that. And that's great. That's really great. So let's put our lockout lever back in place. Let's put our linkage in. And but I really like our YouTube fam. You guys are great. But anyway, so that's the point. I always just strive myself to just keep it that way, positive. And but you guys will see it sometimes. I'll get on and maybe I'm a little frustrated. I do definitely get frustrated sometimes. And but I always do my best to just keep it real with you guys, keep it transparent. And that's it. And like Buck and Billy Ray says, work hard, be kind, be honest. That's all we can ever do. And I will be the first to say, it always sounds so simple, to be kind, be honest, work hard. But if anybody knows, it can be tricky, really. It might sound bad, but it's the truth, man. Oh. Ryan says early 10 millimeter 044 is one of the best power to weight ratio saws ever built. 12 millimeter is good too. See, and that's actually one of the things that I'm still learning, honestly, how to identify. So like this one, I couldn't tell you if it was a 10 or 12. And which is actually one of the things that I told my buddy Alonzo that I was going to research for him and find out, because I want to know also. I just kind of know how to fix them and do everything else. But if you were to tell me right now, hey, what millimeter is that? I could really not tell you. And this lockout lever is going to be kind of a pain, because normally it kind of clips in, but I feel like somebody was working on this saw before this, or they would like work on their saws, which is great. Well, that's interesting. Did I not put the linkage? No, yeah. Okay. So, like, for instance, you never know what you're going to get. You could work, I mean, I've worked on, I feel like all Stihl models, 044s, 046s, I haven't gotten a 460 yet, 461s, 440s. I haven't gotten a 441. I've worked on, quite a few 200s, 201s. I had a 036 Pro, 362s, 261s, basically all the pro models, because I cater to guys in tree service. This is actually my second one that I've ever worked on, 044. And this one's interesting. Oh, I see what's going on, I think. Let me see. So this needs to go, like I said, what's making this one a little trickier is because these lockout levers, they usually clip into place, but it's not. So I think, okay, I think we got it. Let me see. That is interesting. What? Okay. Oh. That threw me for a loop there. Funky little one. I have struggled on chainsaws, of course I have, but not like this one. Not like here. This is usually pretty simple, but either way, we got it. Ayush says, personally, I've experienced a chainsaw here in India. Some of the guys still use the traditional method of cutting trees with axes and stuff. That's hardcore. That is very traditional and hardcore. Ryan says, it looks like a 10 millimeter. All slant fins are 10 mil, I believe. Okay. Ryan also says, never mind, looks like it has straight fins. It's probably a 12 mil. The lockout lever is a pain on these. Yes. Excuse me. So yeah, the fins on this one are straight, but definitely no. But no, see, I appreciate that, man. I never knew how to identify 10 mil, 12 mil. I mean, there's still a lot of things that I need to learn as far as like details and things like that. But I appreciate that because that helps. That really does help. And yeah, the lockout for this one, for some reason, it was weird. Maybe these don't lock into place, but everything else, usually the little tabs lock into the handle here, but this one didn't. So, but we got it. A little patience. And let me plug in my phone because we are on the verge of 9. IBS says, or excuse me, 00 says, say hi to Nash. Yeah, he's running around. Nash, come here, buddy. And we also got Harley here today. Oh, so there's Harley girl. I believe she's 4 years old. Nash, he is not even a year old yet. He is a chocolate lab mix. I think he's got a little pit, but I don't know. We still need to do a DNA on that, on him. And then Harley, she's a purebred silver lab. And don't mind my sandals. We are straight cash right now. Okay, so we got the charger. Let me see if I can get this to stay put. Okay, should be all right. Ryan says 10 mil slant fins are supposed to have the best port timing. Okay. No, yeah, I heard, well, I think from what I do kind of remember picking up is that people do prefer the 10 mils. My buddy Alonzo says that he wants to see if we can do, if it is a 12 mil, switch it over to 10. I don't know how that's going to work though, because I really don't know, but either way, I'm guessing it all has to do with the cylinder head as well. So not just the piston size. So I need to do a little more research on that because I don't know if it's as easy to just convert it, because I feel like it does have a lot to do with the cylinder head as well. So let me see if I can get this to stay. Let me see. Oh boy, we're having some difficulties here. Let me see if I can put my water bottle. Maybe that'll work. Okay, I think that's the best I can do right there. IBS says camel toe. Straight up, man, straight up. Johnny Appleseed in the house. What up? I've seen you pop in before. Says, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for your pain. I know how it is, and I'm so glad that you're okay now, and I hope you're feeling much more well and that you're able to soon get back to normal, and I hope that something. What? That's interesting. I'm doing well, though. I am doing good. I mean, maybe you were around when I was talking about having to move and everything else and a little bit of family drama, but I guess, yeah, since then I am doing better. So I appreciate that. So thank you. Ryan says, I couldn't see the top of the cylinder. It's a 10 mil, bro. Sorry. If you look at the top of the cylinder, it's a slant fin. So yes, the top fins, they are slanting. So going forward, they are slanting forward. Obviously the side fins, they're straight. But it is a slant on the top. Cylinder number ending in 1128. So if it is a slant fin, that's even better. That's pretty badass. And I'm definitely gonna, now that we're talking about it, either way, I need to research it because I told my buddy Alonzo that I'm going to get better at knowing all these details because it's important, especially if you know, if this is what you do, this is what we do. Gotta learn. So, 00 says you need a mod now. I think about that sometimes. Ayush says the MS881 is a beast. It definitely is. But again, coming back to the earlier saws like the 880, that's a beast too. Or I would love to own an 084 someday. I already have a cylinder for it that I'm currently working on. It's really nice. I already cleaned it. A mechanic from the power equipment shop that I was working at, he gave it to me. We had a part washer there, so I cleaned it up in the part washer. I started restoring the sleeve because it had some piston transfer, no gouges, just some piston transfer, significant transfer. So I guess, I mean, that is a level of scoring. And I just need to find a piston for it and then find a 084 skeleton and go from there. So Pablo says, make me a mod. I will time out the good people. Ryan says, the most important thing when rebuilding the 044 is getting the right piston. The slant 10 millimeter like yours uses a smaller wrist pin. So this one probably has maybe like a 9 mil wrist pin. Because I know there's only a few different sizes. So obviously I think the biggest one being see, that's where I get confused and I'm not too... But yeah, I'll definitely do some research, before doing anything, depending on what my buddy Alonzo wants to do. Because that's the best thing. That's one of the reasons why I love doing what I do. Because I don't just work on saws for like a business standpoint. I do it because I love saws, man. I started working at the power equipment shop, started learning, and then I realized, like, dude, this, I've always been familiar with chainsaws as far as, like my grandfather ran chainsaws, and I'm familiar with brands like Echo and Stihl, of course, and whatnot. But as far as like actually getting my hands on saws, running saws, fixing them, I've been learning a lot, man. It's just fun. They're fun. Okay. So, I am going to... So I do want to test the oil seals. So let me go actually and pop off that carburetor again. Oh boy. Sheesh. Hopefully the block off plate that I have works for this. Yeah, that's a lot of carbon buildup on those screws. Thank God for pig tools, one of my favorites. Whoop. Very dirty, but this saw's going to come out looking great. For those of you that know, I have a pretty good cleaning process. Maybe not the quickest, but they come out looking dang good. Still uses 12 millimeter all the way up to the 880. Okay. IBS says, Shiny, are you going to do a breakfast live stream soon? Probably not, just because now we have our 2 jobs and I'm usually depending on what time I start, I just don't have time for those. But one day we will get back to those, because that's fun. I enjoy those a lot. And of course it has to do with food, so you guys already know I like that. Ryan says, oh yeah, and Stihl Ultra is terrible for carbon buildup. It's an outdated oil with a terrible rating. Echo Red Armor or another FD rated oil is way to go. Carbon will ruin a cylinder. That's facts. Well, facts as far as, carbon buildup. I don't run, so for my personal saws, I run VP's ethanol free, and then I mix it to a 50-to-1 ratio using AMSOIL's Sabre full synthetic. That's what I like. But the Red Armor stuff, though, I've heard it is great stuff. Although I heard somewhere where they reformulated it and that it wasn't quite the same, but I've heard really good things about that Red Armor for sure. Double O says, yeah, green Stihl oil isn't great. I'd agree. Ryan says AMSOIL Sabre is great and is also FD rated oil. Sick. Okay, so we're doing all right. But I'd like to run a comparison one day. Once I have a place where I can run saws more and do more cutting, I do want to do comparisons, just to see what holds up better. Because even though I've seemed to have never ran into problems running the AMSOIL Sabre, the Red Armor actually might be better. You never know, but there's only one way to find out, and that's just trying things. So let me go look. Let me grab my pressure and vac tester. One sec. We got Martin says, greetings from Black Forest, Germany. Martin, dude, much love to you and welcome. All right. So the pressure and vac tester that I use is the Stihl pressure and vac tester. This guy right here. One of my favorite tools. Show you guys what it looks like. Oh. I just fixed it also. Is high RPM good for saws? All right, Ryan, much love to you, man. Much love to you. Let's see, how much was that tester? I want one. So don't buy them on eBay. That's where I found mine. I paid way too much money for it. But if you go to your local Stihl dealer and you give them a part number, which I'll give it to you right now. So the part number for this tester is 0000-890-1701. And if they're a cool dealer, they'll order one for you. So my local dealers, one of them, I can get it for $160. On eBay, though, they're way overpriced. I paid, I think, $320 for mine, and I could have bought two for the price of one. I know every place has different prices, but just go to your local dealer and they should be able to get you one. All right, Ryan, much love to you, man. Thank you for being here. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one, dude. So yeah, coming to find out, I've overpaid, but I didn't think that going to a dealer, they were going to get me one, because some dealers are kind of like, well, why do you want special tools? Because they know that you're fixing your own stuff. But I found one, and then plus where I work, we're a Stihl dealer, so I can order whatever I need as long as I have a part number for it. So, okay, so let's go ahead and, first I want to see if this block off plate will fit. and it does not. So I'm gonna have to use. Okay. So I have to use this little block off here. Ryan says, oh yeah, subscribe by the way. Ryan, man, appreciate you, dude. Appreciate the love and support. And yeah, man, hopefully you can join us whenever you have a second, man. So I appreciate all the information, and hopefully we'll know a little bit more later next time. So much love to you, dude. Thank you. Let's see. Let's go ahead and let's see. Okay. The block off plates work really well, but every now and then sometimes the spacing won't be the same, so you have to put that little rubber block off, which is fine. It works. But then you have to match up the wedge that little rubber piece underneath or behind the muffler, and it's just kind of, it's not more of a pain, it's just it just takes a little more time, but it's all good. At least we got something. Double O says, I have a Chinese one, 10 times less money, but surprisingly good. Yeah, so Mighty Vac makes one for like $110. This Stihl one that I use is like I said, on eBay they go for like upwards of $400, but that's way overpriced. If you go to your dealer, you might be able to get it for under 200 bucks. Like the one I have, or like my dealer here, one of ours, he's charging 160, but I think I can get it obviously cheaper at the place I work now because I also get a discount. But okay, so that little block off just goes right behind the muffler. I need to take out this carburetor again. I need to find something to plug the air intake, the intake port a little bit better. So Ayush is asking, the 800 is almost $2,000, right? Yeah, so yeah, so it's $2,000. The ones now at the dealer, the new 880 ones, depending on what size bar, they actually go upwards of 3,000. It's pretty wild. All right, so let me find. I need to find something better to plug the intake with, but I think for now, just to get an idea, I'll just put my finger on it. So this is what the Stihl pressure and vac tester looks like. So that goes into your impulse line. So I do need something better to plug it with, just because right now it's acting as if it's losing pressure. Let me see if I can put my flashlight up to it. Actually, maybe this. No, that's still too. Either way, if you really want to know if you have an air leak for either side of your oil seals, you just get some soapy water and you put some on either side of the seal. And if you do have a leak, it'll also help you identify what side oil seal you have a leak. So either your flywheel side oil seal or your clutch. So in this case, oh, that's not gonna help. So yeah, it's gonna be tricky to do it with. Is 3,000 a lot? So for the 881, that is, I mean, it's kind of coming. I mean, it might be overpriced a little bit, but it just really, again, if you buy it with the 5-foot bar, then yeah, you're gonna be paying maybe like 3,100. But it also depends on what size bar you get. But typically, I think 25 to 28 is a fair price for it, for what it is. So shoot, I don't know what I'm gonna do to yeah, it's gonna be tricky without. So what I'm trying to do is cover up the intake, and so there's air coming out of it still. But like I said, a little soapy water, it'll tell you right away if you actually have a seal or not, or if you actually have a leak or not. I need to find a better plug. Because my finger is just not going to do it. Oh, we are having some technical difficulties. Ayush says, I didn't know these saws have such complicated and delicate mechanisms. So, yeah, man, I mean, there's not a whole lot to them, but, there's a couple little things. All right, let me grab some soapy water, and then instead of struggling with trying to cover that up, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out right now what's actually up with these seals, because it'll bubble up right away. Plasticine works too. I check carburetor with that. What's plasticine? I've never heard of that. So basically my method at this point, and the best way, if you don't have something to cover the your ports with, as far as the intake side of it goes, and if you just cover up the intake port with your finger and you have air seeping through, just grab some soapy water, put some pour some onto the seal, and even if you're holding it down like that, if you actually do have a leak, it'll start bubbling up. Okay, so that was a little too much. Man, talk about some technical difficulties, man. Let me see. Oh, let's try this. Now it's not even creating pressure. What is going on now? Oh boy, it's the little things sometimes, guys. Molding, modeling material. Okay, I'll definitely check that out because I need something for sure. We got Stihl fixture in the house. What up? What up? Ayush says already it's 2 in the morning here. I was actually studying late, but then I saw your stream, but gotta go to sleep now. Have a great day, y'all. Ayush, much love to you, man. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one, and I appreciate the love and support, dude. Let's see. Wonder if I can use that. Not having very much luck right now. Ugh. Okay, some technical difficulties here, but we'll be all right. So let me get... Okay, let's just focus, because I'm getting a little flustered. I almost knocked over this glass cup, and that would have been not good. Okay. Now, if I put my finger... Okay, creating pressure now. Put that little ring back in. So let's pour some more water on these seals. It's just the placement on this. Oh boy. That ain't gonna work. I mean, either way, I mean, even the little bit of pressure that I am... Yeah, even the little bit of pressure that I'm getting, nothing's happening. So I'm guessing IBS says, all right, I'm going to have to go now. I got some stuff I got to do. Got the neighbor's log splitter I got to fix. I'm going to make a video on it. Wish I could stay. IBS, man, much love to you. Hopefully it goes well with the log splitter. And I'll be on the lookout for that video. So much love to you as always. And we'll see you, man. 00 says some people make a plug for vacuum testing from a spark plug and just put rubber seals from intake. Hey, that's actually a good idea. I never thought about that. That's actually a good idea. I like that. IBS says 44 likes. Wow. Dang, that's actually that's a lot of likes, man. I appreciate everybody here. So kind of struggling a little bit right now. Famous words of Damon Darling. If you guys don't know who Damon Darling is, he's a really good dude, funny guy, but his thing is like, you struggling with it, we struggling with it right now. Tell you that. But yeah, these oil seals are good. At least the flywheel side is good. Let's go ahead and check out the clutch side. Take out the worm gear. All right. Let's pour a little of this soap and water in here. So actually, okay, I'm gonna retest these seals. Steel Fixer says 45 likes now. Much love to you guys. Much love to you guys, man. Appreciate all the love and support, for real. It's crazy. And we got Zach in the house now. What up, man? How you been, dude? Hopefully you've been doing good. Thank you for joining us for a little bit. I know you're a busy man. So I'm gonna test these seals again once I, like Double O said, some of that plasticine, cover up these the air intake a little bit better, but regardless, I am getting bubbling on the clutch side. Because you don't need a whole bunch of pressure to start creating bubbles with the soapy water. Bubbles are bubbles no matter what. I'm barely getting to like, what? Like 2 PSI. Either way, that's enough, and I am getting bubbling. So again, once I have something better to plug, or once I have something to plug the air intake port a little bit better, I'm going to retest the seals again, because that'll give me an even better reading. But soapy water does not lie, and you only need a little bit of pressure to basically conduct the test. And again, bubbles are bubbles. The soapy water does not lie. The flywheel side oil seal is perfectly fine, no bubbling whatsoever. But on the clutch side here, there are bubbles. So I wish I had a way to show you guys, but I don't, because I'm using one hand to do my best to cover up the port as best as I can, just allowing me to pump up at least something. But there's definitely bubbles being produced. So as of right now, again, I am going to do this test again once I find something to plug up the to block the air intake, the intake port. But as of right now, I mean, no matter what, like I said, bubbles are bubbles, and the soapy water does not lie. So at this point, the oil seal on the clutch side is leaking, and that is a pressure test. And at this point, I'm not even going to do a vacuum test because it's got a leak. But at this point, let's just see. Let's just check it out. I mean, either way, though, under pressure, oh yeah. Here, I'll kind of show you guys a little bit. I'll take the phone off the charger, since this basically concludes the inspection. Like I said, the cleaning, I'm going to end up doing it at the storage unit, because I don't want to destroy their backyard even more than I already kind of am. But you guys see that? That is what you don't want to see using soapy water. So let me see if I can maybe put the phone. Well, that's not going to help. Either way, you guys see the bubbles, and that's not good. So at that point, the oil seal is bad on the clutch side. The flywheel side did not do that at all. So, wow, that was rude, huh? So that's pretty unfortunate. But again, this is why doing a good, thorough inspection is important. I know not everybody has the time, especially when you're running a business or you're running a tree service or a landscape company. Sometimes you don't have time to take a day and go through all of your equipment and do inspections like this. But it is good to do that because you catch things early on, and so it's just good to do that every now and then. Or, I mean, you could pay somebody to do it, but you're going to end up paying, inspection fee, labor, to do the job at least. If you can try to do it yourself, you'll save yourself a little bit of money. But anyways, so at this point, we need carburetor work, new metering diaphragm, and a good clean. We also need, as of right now, new oil seal on the clutch side. But the way that I look at it is, if you're going to replace the clutch side, you might as well get the flywheel side. If you're going to replace the flywheel side oil seal, you might as well do the clutch side. So oil seals, there was one more thing that we were talking about. What was it? And then just the tune-up service. So spark plug, fuel filter, air filter, definitely a good cleaning. And then the rest of it's just going to be cosmetic work. Start running some good fuel, preferably ethanol free, a good oil, so full synthetic. And other than that, that's all it needs. And then eventually, I'm sure he's going to want to do some, some modifications like bolt-on mods, like, maybe the bark box, maybe a clutch, clutch cover. Actually, no, this one he wants to keep it kind of original, I think. But, oh, and then also clutch springs, either a whole new clutch rebuild or a new clutch. Definitely needs springs, because which one was it? Well, this clutch shoe, especially, it's really bad. Either way, either a new clutch or new clutch springs at least, and then a new clutch bell or drum, sprocket drum. It's really a clutch bell though, because it has a lot of significant wear in between the teeth there. It's not supposed to have that. And then also a new rim sprocket as well, because it has wear. So carb work, tune-up service, clutch work, and as of right now, oil seals. So once I find that plastine, I think Double O was saying that, I forget what he said it was called, but plastiline or something, to plug the air intake a little bit better. I'll run the test again just to make sure. But again, soapy water does not lie. It's clear as day that it has a leak. So and then a good cleaning, and that's pretty much it. And then the rest of it's going to be cosmetic. I know Alonzo already has, my buddy has a air filter cover coming for it, because it's a little cracked right there. Eventually at some point, a new shroud with a new model badge or model plate. These are a little faded, but this is still fine. Everything else is good. It already has a brand new rewind starter, although he does want one with the Elasso start, because this is not. This is just a regular starter, but that could be easily swapped out. And then I don't know if he's going to want to do anything a little extra, like bark box or whatnot. But this saw's in good condition. It does run, but as you guys can see, it needs a little bit of work. So, but again, that's what we're here for, just to do an inspection. It's good to do that. every now and then, especially if you run your equipment hard. And that's basically it. Anthony 497 says smash. Smash. What up, Anthony? Much love, man. Hope you're doing well. Happy Monday. We got Steer Nakin 82 says, what saw is that? So this is a Stihl 044, a red lever 044. From some of the information that I was told, Ryan was helping us out. He had some good information. I'm still gonna do some research myself, but it has the slanted fins, so there's a good chance this is a 10 mil, and which is a lot more desirable, and it is a red lever, also more desirable. But it's an 044. So these chainsaws, the 044s were first introduced in 1988. It's a 70.70 or roughly, it's a 70 cc chainsaw. Very good chainsaws. Very, very good. So this is my buddy Alonzo's. He just recently picked it up. He recently bought it and added it to his collection. He also has a very nice 440, which we have here, that's going to get a new piston. I'm going to clean up the cylinder sleeve just a little bit, just for good measure. Clean it up, and it's good to go. Running West Coast dogs, 3-point dogs, bark box, and that's basically it. So anyhow, so as far as this goes now, like I said, the title did say inspection and cleaning, but I don't want to ruin the deck, because again, this isn't my home. This is my girlfriend's and her sister's house, and again, they're already, doing me a huge favor by letting me stay here until I get my own place, and I just don't want to ruin their home. Or they have a really nice deck. It has composite decking, so I'd rather do this at the new place where we're going to be working and storing all of our saws, which I'm fully moved in now. I just brought the rest of my stuff on Friday. My girlfriend helped me out with that, which you guys will see soon. I'll be making some post about it. And so yeah, so for now, just the inspection. Now I can touch base with my buddy Alonzo, let him know what I found out, see what he wants to do. I'm positive he's going to want to fix all that, because this is going to be more of like a shelf queen saw for him. And so, but he's not in a rush for this 044. It's just a project, but I'm sure he is going to want to get it 100%. Of course, it's all an investment. So, but at least we can let him know, hey, this is what I found. I also have 400C here, which you guys may or may not have already saw the running video. I also have a running video of his 044, just a quick startup, a little, just a few revs. And so the 400 is going to be next, just a checkup, inspection, and a little cleaning. And then eventually, once parts come in for his work on his 440, the piston's already here. I'm waiting for a rewind spring because it needs a rewind job, and that's pretty much it. And eventually maybe get his 500i back in for cleaning and just a little checkup, make sure everything is good, and yeah, go from there. 00 says, and a can of carburetor cleaner. I think I already have some. I believe I already have some, but I'm gonna have to double check. But if I don't, for sure some carburetor cleaner. And I already have a new brush here to do some cleaning. But anyways, guys, that's basically all I got for you guys for now, for this live stream. I really appreciate everybody joining us. There's a lot of you watching today, 100 plus. Right now we still have 110, almost 50 likes. That is nuts, man. That's no joke, the most likes I have gotten on a live stream. You guys already know, and maybe you guys believe it or maybe not, but as much as numbers and views are great, we're just here to have fun, share the journey, share the experience. You know, I've met a lot of great people on here. You guys, I consider you all a little family, community, whatever you guys want to be. You guys are my peeps. Um, and it feels weird to not be doing live streams as much as we're all kind of used to. But you know, right now I'm just doing my best to hustle. You know, so I got 2 jobs plus saw work now, doing more saw work. So time is just a little slim nowadays, but you know, we're just we're just moving and grooving. But again, you know, of course, when we see likes and people watching, it's a good feeling. It's cool, you know. But no matter what, man, we're just here to have a good time, check in with one another. You know, we're all human beings, obviously. Or I don't know, maybe some are not. But but it's nuts, man. It's really awesome. So, and again, thank you all so much for 3,000 subscribers. Um, it's a big deal for me. You know, I know in the YouTube world that might not be much, but for me, it's like having 1 million subscribers. It's freaking incredible, incredible. The views, the watch hours are going up. You guys, even though I feel like I haven't been as consistent, as active on YouTube, especially on live streams, but you know, but numbers, you know, are still going up. You guys are still interested. You guys are still here. Um, and I just can't express enough or even put into words how much I really appreciate all that. Um, so, and we'll be here as long as life allows us to be here, as long as health allows me to be here, and we'll still be here, man. So, but for now, this is all I got until, um, you know, I'm not sure if we'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure yet, but no doubt, as soon as I have time to come back and do another live stream or work on Alonzo's 400, we'll be back here together going through it and everything else. So, but for now, that's all I got. And again, just thank you so much to every single one of you, especially during our live streams, for taking time out of your lives, your day, you know, whatever you guys have going on. You guys are here watching, and it just means a lot. So this feels almost like a farewell now. So I'm just going to say we'll catch you on the next one, because this ain't a farewell. This is just to see you next time. It feels like that. So yeah. But much love to everybody. So we'll catch you on the next one. Have a good rest of your day, and have a good rest of the week. Peace. Oh, hold on a second. We got 00 real quick. I don't want to just take off on anybody. If any, so at this point, if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, for the concerns, we do have a form for that. No, I'm just kidding. We don't. But if anybody has any questions they want to ask, or anything you guys want to say, let me know before I jam out. But 00 is asking or saying there's going to be a lot of work at summer. During summer, you can fix many things. Just make a couple advertising. Maybe have a look, or good luck. No, and I agree, man. Spring and summertime. Just like most things, most businesses, spring and summer, they take off. Especially now being here where I'm living now, a lot more. The agriculture scene is a lot bigger, more vineyard. You know, I'm in the heart of the wine country, so a lot of vineyards, a lot of farms, ranches. So just gotta hustle. Just keep doing good work, treating people right. That's first and foremost. Treating people right. That's the number one thing. Being consistent, being motivated. I mean, there's a lot of things to it, but we'll definitely get there, no doubt. So yeah, no, I appreciate you guys for the, you know, or 00. I appreciate the encouragement and all that. And yeah, and you too, man. Just keep crushing it out there. Keep doing your thing, everybody. If you know, just keep crushing whatever you do. You know, even if you're not working on saws or equipment, or just whatever you do out there in the world, and you enjoy it and it makes you happy, just keep crushing it. You know, there's no, in my mind, in my opinion, there's no limitation what we can do when we actually find our niche. And, you know, we can only go up from there. So anyhow, with that being said, we're out for sure now. Gonna go hit up Alonzo, be like, yo man, this thing's busted up. Not really, but anyways. But all right guys, much love to everybody. Peace. See you on the next one. Laters.